Another of Athens' great attractions is the modern Olympic Stadium, called Kalimamaro, or Beautiful Marble. This afternoon, it's not so much the stadium itself we're setting off to find, but to locate a small calisthenics park near the top. Getting there is a workout in itself, as the narrow streets are all uphill and often not much more than a series of stairs. But our reconnaissance and exploration efforts paid off, as this park proved to be the ultimate training ground with a view. So I'm here on vacation in beautiful Greece. I'm in the city of Athens. I feel like I'm on the rooftop of Athens. I'm right beside one of the oldest stadiums in the world. This is the site of the first modern Olympic Games, and the whole stadium is built out of marble. It's just awe-inspiring. One of the things I like to think about when I'm on vacation is not just relaxing on a beach, but I have to balance out some of those calories that I eat with a bit of training just to keep up my physical activity. And while it's easy to walk lots of places, and I certainly don't discount that activity because it's great exercise, but there's other things that you can do too, just using your own body weight. You don't need a gym, you don't need access to any specialized equipment, because body weight training is so easy to scale, so anybody can do it. All you have to do is think of the key fundamental movements that the human body does. So the human body has to push things. So if you think of a push-up or pressing something overhead, I think of a pulling motion, whether that's a row or a pull-up or a chin-up, and those can all be scaled so anyone can do them. I think of lower body movements and hip hinges and deep squats to keep up with my lower body mobility and strength. If you combine those aspects together of pulling, pushing, hip hinging, squatting, you've got a complete workout, no gym required. So I'm here to get some training in Athens, and what an amazing sight. I have to honor the gods because I'm in view of the wonderful Acropolis and the Parthenon sitting on top of it, right by the modern Olympic Stadium. And there happened to be a little makeshift calisthenics park here that I found. And you can find these things in almost every city. So this park has some basic equipment, but there's pull-up bars. I found a set of Olympic rings over there. There's a rope you can climb, and there's parallel bars. And while I don't necessarily need these, it can make a workout interesting, and it's kind of fun way to explore a city when you're on vacation, to find some interesting elements. So when I see parallel bars, one of the first things I think of is a dip. So if you're able to take your own body weight, in a dip you want to try to keep your core nice and tight, dip down, press up. So here I'm just trying to use my triceps, my arms as much as possible, and keep my core nice and tight, as I said. So this would be, in terms of fundamentals of human movement, this is a nice pushing exercise. Gonna exhale as I come up. They're pretty tough to do, not gonna lie. One thing that you can do to scale them, and it's hard for me to show you on here, but if you're able to find a set of bars that is closer to the ground, you can leave 2 feet on the ground or even 1 foot on the ground to kind of give you a little assist. So these bars are a little high, but you might get the idea. If I was able to, here I could jump into it and maybe control coming down, jump coming up, control coming down. So here, I'm using my foot as an assist. Or 2 feet. Again, lower these bars are, the easier that's going to be, because ultimately your feet don't have to leave the ground at all. If you have bars low enough, you would keep your feet on the ground and you dip from there. So these are called bench dips. So in this case, I just get my butt off of the bench a little bit, try and protract my shoulders, keep them back. I'm gonna keep my core tight, come down, press up. And I'm trying not to let my elbows flare out too wide. Exhaling as I come up. The more weight that you put into your feet, the easier this is gonna be. The less weight you put into your feet and the more weight you put into your arms, the more difficult it's gonna be. If I wanted to make this exercise even more difficult and I had a chair or another bench, I could raise my feet up on the other bench, do the exact same exercise, but I'd be taking more of my body weight. So basic pulling exercises, the classic of all pulling exercises is a pull-up. It's not an easy one to do, but if you're able to do them, you need some kind of a horizontal bar that's over your head. And basically you start with using your traps and shoulders, and you pull your chin all the way over the bar and come down again. If you can't do that, because that's a very difficult exercise to do, if I had something that I could put my feet on or was able to reach the bar, I can use my feet as some kind of an assist to almost jump into the pull-up and then come down. So that's one way of doing it. Or if you're working with somebody, Kevin, do you mind? You can help me here. So if I was to grab the bar and you were to grab my legs, so now I can use a partner to help me up and back down again. So that's kind of fun because you get both people involved in the exercise. Thank you, sir. Oh, there we go. Another thing you can do instead of a pull-up, and of course you can use different grips for this. You can do a chin-up, which is where your palms are facing you, or an alternating grip. You can go wide, you can go narrow. There's no right or wrong way to do this exercise. There's just different ways. You can also pull like a body row, something like Diana's doing here. So this is a strap with handles that's nice and convenient because we've got it wrapped around a tree, but it doesn't have to be anything fancy like the buddy system here. This could be a towel that you grab, and that's going to work your grip as well. I mean, at the most basic level, you can even just use your hands and start getting pulling exercises like this. So there's different ways that you can, I've done this off of door jambs, anything that you can use, tree branches, where you get some kind of pulling exercise. And I bet you if you came closer, Diane, you could probably even incorporate a bit of a squat into that too, right? So, so yeah, and then pull and down. So now we're doing two things at once. So you have to use your imagination. Another body weight exercise that's good is some kind of a pushing exercise, and the classic one is a push-up using your own body weight. So the correct way to do a push-up, one thing you have to keep in mind is to be in a good plank position. So you don't want to be sagging like this. You have to get your butt up, kind of protract the shoulders a little bit. And one big mistake people make is when they come down into the push-up, you see this a lot, people reach down with their heads in an effort to reach the ground. So you have to make sure that your head is neutral with your spine. Keep your elbows nice and close. Push up again. So you want to avoid this. You want to keep your elbows tucked. One of the things that's going to do is help protect your shoulders. So some people find it easier to put the elbows wide, but if you want to have shoulders when you're 70 or 80 years old, you'll keep them tucked. It's way easier on the shoulder girdle. So you can also scale push-ups. So if you do them from an elevation, they're a little easier because that elevation is going to take some of your body weight. The higher the elevation, the easier the push-up is to do. So over here, Jen's doing one a little higher up, and ultimately you can find a surface like even a wall. So a lot of people will start by doing a push-up on the wall, but the same rules apply. You have to make sure that your back is nice and straight and that you're not sagging and that you keep your elbows tucked. And that's how you learn to do a push-up. Use a vertical surface and gradually bring the surface down. So another way, if you have a partner, you can scale a push-up. If the person has a strength but you find their lower back sagging, this is a buddy system that I can use, a strap. Go ahead, Jen. So I can keep her from sagging. I'm getting a little bicep working here as well, which is kind of awesome. This doesn't have to be a buddy system or specialized strap. I mean, a lot of people have access to TRXs and things like that, but this could be as simple as a towel where you're placing the towel around someone's waist and you grab both of the handles, And she's able to bang out a lot more push-ups, and we can protect her lower back, and both of us are getting a little work. Nice, Jen, that's awesome. How's that?
Much easier.
Yeah.
Maybe not
good.
for you.
Yeah. Go ahead. So what we're gonna do,
Hey, go ahead.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
So we'll do pull-ups or chin-ups or some kind of pulling exercise.
Okay.
Dips and push-ups. We're gonna take our time. So
good.
it's not a race. Recover your breath. Like I'm out of breath right now. So you don't wanna get to that point where you wanna be ready, okay?
All right.
Follow me. Or more commonly called push-up.
Okay.
Push-up. Push-up. Axis. Axis. Or pull-up. Yeah.
Sensing a thread that
Yeah.
one is much easier.
Okay, dips.
Yes.
Yeah. So just finished a very basic body weight workout here in the park, and it was nothing more than pull-ups, push-ups, and dips. That's all I did. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pretty gassed right now. I'm out of breath, and I feel pretty pumped. And man, I gotta tell you, that was a workout. Nothing fancy, no specialized equipment, but I feel great. Got it done, and so can you.